Imagine for a moment that your entire life, everything you have ever known, is but a dream within the vast imagination of God. You believe you are bound by circumstances, confined by time, limited by the things you see. But what if I told you that you are far greater than you think? What if the very struggles you face are not obstacles but whispers, nudging you towards something beyond comprehension? There is a force moving through all things, shaping destinies, breaking chains, lifting veils. It is not the hand of chance or the cold laws of nature, but the divine orchestration of a power so immense, so precise, that if you could see its full scope, it would leave you breathless. You may think you are waiting on miracles, but the truth is, miracles are waiting on you. You stand at the edge of a revelation, one that will shatter the illusion of limitation and awaken you to a reality far greater than the one you now know. This is not a message of hope alone, it is a call to remembrance, a call to awaken to the truth of who you are, and the boundless plan set in motion for you before time began. You have been told that life is a series of random events, that you must struggle and strive, that destiny is out of your hands. But what if I told you that everything unfolding in your life, every joy, every trial, every unexpected twist, is part of a plan so vast, so intricate, that your mind could scarcely contain it? You were never meant to wander aimlessly, to live in fear, to question your worth. The world may have convinced you that you are small, but God's plan is not concerned with how things appear. It is not limited by what you see, nor by what others believe about you. It is infinite, unshakable, a divine force moving beneath the surface of all things. And whether you recognize it or not, it is working for you. The road ahead may seem uncertain. The circumstances before you may appear impossible. But do not be deceived by appearances. Do not let what you see with your natural eyes determine what you believe is possible. The unseen world is more real than the one you touch, and it is from that unseen world that all things are born. There are moments in life when everything seems to fall apart. The doors that once stood open slam shut. The path you thought would lead you to joy turns to dust beneath your feet. And in that moment, when all seems lost, you may wonder, where is God in this? Has He abandoned me? Has He forgotten the promises spoken over my life? But I tell you this, what you see as an ending is merely the shifting of the heavens, the rearranging of time itself to make way for something greater than you have dared to imagine. There is no mistake, no failure, no setback that can hinder what has already been ordained for you. What seems like a delay is not a delay at all. It is a preparation, it is the unfolding of divine intention in a way that your limited mind cannot yet perceive. What you call waiting is, in truth, a sacred becoming. A transformation that will reveal in due time that everything was always happening for you, never against you. You have been placed in this world not to be a spectator, not to be a victim of chance, but to awaken to the truth that all things are possible. The moment you dare to believe, the moment you cast aside doubt, and step into the knowing that you are an instrument of something far greater, everything begins to shift. Doors open, paths clear, people are drawn into your life as if by magic. But this is not magic, it is law. It is the law of faith, the law of creation, the law that governs all things. Look back on your life. Reflect on the moments when you thought you had reached the end, only to find that something greater was waiting just beyond the horizon. You have been guided all along, even when you did not see it, even when you doubted. There was never a moment when you were alone, never a time when divine hands were not shaping your destiny. Do you feel the pull in your spirit? That gentle urging, that quiet voice whispering that something more is coming? That is the call. The call to step into the fullness of your purpose, to stop settling for the life the world tells you is possible, and to step into the life that has already been written for you. But know this, God's plan is not small. It is not ordinary. It does not conform to human expectation. It does not fit neatly within the limitations of logic. It is bigger than you think, bigger than you have imagined, bigger than anything you have yet dared to dream. And because it is so big, the road to it may not look the way you expected. There will be moments when everything seems to fall away, when the familiar is stripped from your hands, when you are left standing in the unknown. Do not fear these moments. They are not punishment. They are not rejection. They are refinement. They are preparation. When everything is being taken away, it is because you are being positioned for something greater. When one door closes, it is because 1,000 others are being prepared to open. You were never meant for an ordinary existence. You were never meant to live beneath your potential, to shrink in the face of adversity, to allow the voices of doubt to dictate your path. The power that formed the stars, that breathed galaxies into existence, resides within you. You are not separate from it. You are not apart from it. You are an expression of it. If only you could see yourself as you truly are. If only you could see the greatness that has been woven into your being, you would never again doubt. You would never again settle. You would walk forward with the certainty that nothing can stand in your way, that every challenge is merely a step toward the greater unfolding of your destiny. God's plan for you is not small, because you were never meant to live a small life. You were meant to expand, to rise, to step into places you never thought possible. But you must let go of the old. You must release the fear, the doubt, the belief that you are unworthy or incapable. Those are illusions, shadows cast by the mind. The truth is far greater. And so the time has come. The moment is now. No more waiting, no more hesitating, no more wondering if you are ready. You are ready. You always have been. Step forward. Believe and watch as the impossible becomes your reality. You have been conditioned to believe in limitations, to accept a reality bound by the laws of the natural world. But what if I told you that the laws of the unseen are far greater, far more powerful, and that they are already working in your favor? What if I told you that the very thing you call reality is nothing more than a reflection of the deeper, unseen world that exists within you? Every thought you entertain, every belief you hold, every vision you dare to see within your mind, it is all creating, shaping, molding the world around you. You are not here to react to life. You are here to command it. You are not here to be at the mercy of circumstance. You are here to shape circumstance according to the divine blueprint already written for you. But herein lies the challenge. The mind has been trained to see obstacles instead of opportunities, fear instead of faith, impossibilities instead of promises. The moment something does not go as planned, doubt creeps in. The moment a door closes, fear takes over. But listen to me now. There is no such thing as failure in the divine plan. There is no such thing as a setback in the eyes of the infinite. What you see as a delay is in reality a redirection. What you see as loss is often a divine exchange, removing what no longer serves you to make way for what is meant for you. And yet, so often, instead of trusting, you resist. Instead of believing, you retreat. But if only you knew, if only you could glimpse what is waiting on the other side of your surrender, you would never again doubt. God's plan is far bigger than you think, and because it is so big, it may not unfold the way you expected. You may have thought the path would be straight, but instead it twists and turns, leading you through unfamiliar territory. You may have thought the journey would be easy, but instead you find yourself walking through valleys of uncertainty. Yet even in those valleys, the hand of the divine is guiding you, shaping you. There is nothing wasted in the divine ardor. Every moment of waiting, every season of struggle, every unanswered question, it all serves a purpose. You may not see it now, but in time you will look back and realize that even the detours were part of the plan. Even the heartbreaks, the disappointments, the closed doors, they were necessary, for they led you exactly where you needed to be. Look at the seed that is buried in the ground. To the untrained eye, it appears lifeless, as though nothing is happening. But beneath the soil, something extraordinary is taking place. Roots are forming, strength is being built, transformation is unfolding. And then, in the appointed time, what was hidden breaks through the surface. It was never dead, it was becoming. And so it is with you. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, you are not behind, you are becoming. You are being shaped, being strengthened, being positioned for something greater than you have yet to comprehend. Do not mistake the hidden season for the end of the story. Do not mistake the waiting for abandonment. What you call stillness is in truth the greatest movement of all, for it is in the unseen, in the quiet, in the moments when nothing seems to be happening, that the most profound transformations take place. There will come a moment when everything changes, when the thing you have been waiting for suddenly appears, when the doors that were once closed are thrown open, when the weight you have carried is lifted. And in that moment, you will understand, you will see why every delay, every trial, every moment of uncertainty was necessary. But hear me now, you do not have to wait for that moment to believe. You do not have to see it to know it is already done. The moment you decide to trust, to believe without wavering, to walk forward as though the promise has already been fulfilled, that is the moment the shift begins. That is the moment heaven moves on your behalf. Faith is not about seeing and then believing. Faith is believing so completely that the unseen world has no choice but to manifest in the visible. When you walk in this knowing, when you refuse to be moved by what your eyes see and instead hold firm to what you know within, you become unstoppable. The world may say no, but the divine plan says yes. Circumstances may say impossible, but the eternal truth says it is already done. Do not limit God's plan by the limitations of your own mind. You may think you know how things should unfold, but your vision is small compared to the vastness of divine intention. Let go of your attachment to how it should happen and trust that it is happening in the way that is best for you. What is coming will shock you, not because it is impossible, but because it will be far greater, far more beautiful, far more extraordinary than you could have imagined. The time for doubt is over. The time for hesitation has passed. Now is the moment to step fully into the truth of who you are, to align yourself with the divine plan, to stand firm in the knowing that what is meant for you is already making its way into your life. No force in this world can stop it, no circumstance can alter it, no fear can delay it. There is a shift taking place. You feel it, you sense it. You know that something is moving, something is changing, something is unfolding. That is the call, that is the invitation to step beyond what is familiar, to release the old and embrace the new, to trust that the hands that created the universe are holding your life in perfect order. Do not look back, do not question the path that brought you here. Everything you have walked through, every battle you have fought, every tear you have cried, it has all led to this moment. The moment when you finally understand that you were never waiting on God. God has been waiting on you, waiting for you to believe, waiting for you to step forward, waiting for you to claim what has always been yours. And so I ask you now, will you believe before you see? Will you trust before the doors open? Will you walk forward in faith, knowing that what is coming will not only meet your expectations, but exceed them beyond anything you could have ever imagined? What is coming will shock you, not because it is impossible, but because it is inevitable. It has always been written. It has always been yours. The only question that remains is this: will you finally step into it? You do not yet realize the magnitude of what has been set in motion for you. You stand at the edge of something so vast, so extraordinary, that if you could glimpse even a fraction of it, every doubt, every fear, every hesitation would vanish in an instant. But the plan is not meant to be seen all at once. It is revealed in steps, in whispers, in moments of divine alignment. And it is in those moments that you must decide, will you trust the process even when you do not understand it? Too many live their lives waiting for proof before they believe. They want the evidence before they take the first step. But this is not how the divine operates. What is written for you is not bound by the logic of this world. It is not subject to human reasoning, nor is it limited by time. What has been promised exists already. It is simply waiting for you to align with it. You ask, when will it happen? When will I see it? But that is not the question. The real question is, do you believe it is already done? Because the moment you truly believe, the moment you know beyond all doubt that what is meant for you cannot be taken from you, that is the moment everything shifts. You've been walking through doors you thought were leading you somewhere, only to find them closing in your face. You've been holding on to things that were never meant for you, relationships, jobs, opportunities, identities that no longer fit who you are becoming. And you have asked, why is this happening? But what you see as rejection is in truth divine protection. What you see as loss is preparation for something far greater. You were never meant to remain in places that no longer serve you. You were never meant to cling to the familiar out of fear of the unknown. The life you desire, the future that is waiting for you, requires you to let go of everything that is keeping you tied to an old version of yourself. You cannot step into what is coming while holding on to what is meant to be left behind. But here is the truth. God does not take things from you without the intention of giving you something greater. When something is removed, it is only to make space for something far beyond your understanding. When a door closes, it is only because a better one is about to open. If you could see what is being prepared for you, you would never again question why something had to leave. You would never again resist the shifts that are taking place in your life. You have prayed for change, you have asked for more, you have sought a greater purpose, and now the very things you have prayed for are being set into motion. But the manifestation of these prayers does not always come in the way you expect. Sometimes, before things can come together, they must first fall apart. Sometimes, before you can step into the promise, you must first be stripped of everything that is not aligned with it. Do not fight the transformation that is happening. Do not resist the process. It may not look the way you thought it would, but trust that it is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. There are moments in life when you must walk by faith alone, when you must move forward even when the path is unclear. This is one of those moments. The plan is unfolding even now. The pieces are coming together even now. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but that does not mean it is not happening. Just as the seed grows beneath the soil before it ever breaks the surface, so too is your destiny unfolding in the unseen before it manifests in the visible. There will come a time when you look back on this season and realize that everything, every delay, every detour, every moment of uncertainty was necessary, that every struggle was shaping you, every closed door was redirecting you, every unanswered prayer was making room for something far greater than you had envisioned. You will understand why certain things had to end, why certain people had to leave, why certain opportunities had to pass you by. But until that time comes, you must hold on to the truth that what is coming is far greater than anything you are leaving behind. The mind will try to convince you that you are losing, but in truth you are being positioned for something that will leave you in awe. The enemy of progress is doubt, and doubt arises when you focus on what is happening instead of what has already been written. You do not need to know the how, you do not need to know the when, you only need to know that it is already done. The universe is not waiting on circumstances to align, it is waiting on you to believe. It is waiting on you to stop questioning, to stop hesitating, to stop looking at what is in front of you and start trusting what has already been declared over your life. When you step into this truth, when you move in faith instead of fear, you become unstoppable. The world cannot shake you. Circumstances cannot deter you. You will walk through every storm with the confidence that nothing can stand in the way of what has been divinely ordained for you. So let go of the need to control. Release the need to understand every detail. Stop trying to force doors open that are meant to remain closed. Your only task is to trust, to believe, to align your thoughts and actions with the truth that what is coming will not just meet your expectations but exceed them in ways you never imagined. There is a divine order to all things. What is meant for you cannot be rushed, nor can it be delayed. It will arrive at the perfect time, in the perfect way, and when it does, you will stand in awe at how every moment, every challenge, every disappointment, every tear was necessary to bring you to the place you were always meant to be. But you do not need to wait until then to feel the joy, the peace, the certainty. You can step into it now. You can claim it now. You can walk forward now, knowing that the path is already laid before you. The journey may not look the way you thought it would, but the destination is certain, the promise is real, the plan is unfolding. What is coming will shock you, not because it is impossible, but because it is inevitable. It has already been written. It has already been prepared. The only thing that remains is for you to step forward and receive it. There is a shift happening even now, a divine movement rearranging things on your behalf. You may not see it yet, you may not feel it yet, but it is happening. Just as the ocean tides are moved by forces unseen, so too is your life being guided by a hand far greater than your own. And what is coming will not just surprise you, it will redefine everything you thought was possible. You have been walking through seasons of waiting, through moments where nothing seemed to make sense. You have questioned, you have wondered, you have asked, why is this happening? But if you knew the answer, if you could see the full picture, you would understand that nothing was wasted, nothing was in vain. Every moment has been building towards something greater, something far beyond your understanding. The discomfort you feel is not a sign of abandonment. It is a sign of transformation. The tension, the uncertainty, the moments when you feel stretched beyond your limit, these are not punishments. They are preparations. Just as a caterpillar must be enclosed in darkness before it emerges with wings, so too must you go through moments of uncertainty before stepping into the fullness of your destiny. You were not created for mediocrity. You were not meant to live a small life confined by fear and hesitation. You were meant for greatness, for expansion, for impact. But to step into that, you must first release everything that is not in alignment with where you are going. The things, the people, the habits, the thoughts that once served you may no longer fit the person you are becoming. Let them go. Do not mourn what is leaving. Do not cling to what was. The past served its purpose. It was a chapter, not the whole story. And what is coming will not only replace what was lost, but it will surpass it in ways you never expected. The plan for your life is not fragile. It is not dependent on perfect conditions. It is not at the mercy of other people's opinions or actions. No one can take from you what has been divinely appointed to you. No mistake you have made can cancel what has already been written. No delay, no detour, no failure can alter what is destined to unfold. You may think you have lost time. You may feel that you have wasted years. But listen to me. Nothing is lost in the hands of the divine. Time bends in the presence of purpose. What you thought would take years will happen in moments. What seemed impossible will come with ease. And when it does, you will wonder why you ever doubted in the first place. But before that moment comes, you must believe without seeing. You must trust without proof. That is the test. That is the moment where faith is required. It is easy to believe once the doors open, once the opportunities arrive, once everything is laid before you. But the real power, the real transformation happens when you believe while you are still in the dark. When you trust before there is evidence, when you walk forward even when the path is not yet visible. The greatest moments in life do not come with warnings. They do not announce themselves. They arrive suddenly, like a whisper in the wind, like a shift in the atmosphere. And in that moment, you will know This is what I was waiting for. This is what I was being prepared for. But you do not have to wait until that moment to live with the confidence that it is already done. You can walk in that assurance now. You can move as though it has already happened, because in the divine realm it already has. The only thing that remains is for you to align yourself with it, to step into the frequency of faith, so that what is written in the unseen can manifest in the seen. Do not allow the illusions of this world to convince you that you are alone. Do not let the temporary struggles convince you that you are forsaken. You are being guided, held, led. And if you could see from a higher perspective, if you could glimpse the fullness of what is unfolding, you would never again doubt. There is more for you, more than what you have settled for, more than what you have imagined, more than what the world has told you is possible. And the moment you decide to believe in the unseen more than the seen, the moment you trust in what is already yours, the floodgates will open. But you must be ready. You must be willing to release everything that is no longer serving your highest good. You must be prepared to step into the unknown with the confidence that what is waiting for you is greater than anything you are leaving behind. This is not a time for hesitation. This is not a time to look back. This is a time to step forward with unwavering faith, knowing that what is coming is not just what you asked for, it is more. It is greater, it is beyond. And when it arrives, you will look back on this moment and realize that it was always meant to be. You were never lost, you were never forgotten. Every step, even the ones that felt like detours, even the ones that felt like failures, were leading you here. And now the time has come. The shift is happening. The doors are opening. And nothing can stop what is already in motion. You may not understand the magnitude of what is happening in your life right now. You may not see how every event, every shift, every closed door, and every unexpected detour is leading you exactly where you need to be. But trust this. Nothing is out of alignment. Nothing is accidental. Nothing is happening outside the divine plan that has already been written for you. You may be questioning, wondering if things are ever going to change, if the path before you will ever become clear. But what if I told you that the clarity you seek is already within you? What if I told you that the very power you think you are waiting on has been waiting on you? There is nothing outside of you that you need. You already possess everything necessary to step into the life you were destined to live. Too often we seek confirmation from the world. We wait for signs, for proof, for validation that we are on the right path. But faith does not wait for evidence. Faith moves before the proof appears. Faith acts as though the promise has already been fulfilled. And it is that kind of faith that shifts the course of destiny, that accelerates divine timing, that unlocks the doors you thought would never open. But there is a process to this journey. You cannot skip the steps. You cannot rush what is meant to unfold in its appointed time. A foundation must be built before the structure can rise. And that is what has been happening in your life. You have been in the preparation phase, the strengthening, the refining, the molding into the person you need to become in order to receive what is already waiting for you. If you were given everything you desired too soon, you would not be able to sustain it. If the doors opened before you were ready, you would not be able to walk through them with the wisdom and strength required to remain there. What you call waiting is not delay. It is divine alignment. It is the perfect orchestration of events so that when your moment arrives, you are prepared to step into it fully. There are moments when you will feel tested, moments when you will be stretched beyond what you thought you could endure. And in those moments it may seem as if nothing is working, as if the promise has been forgotten, as if the plan has been abandoned. But the truth is, those are the moments when the most work is being done. The most profound transformations happen in the unseen, beneath the surface, in the silent spaces where faith is tested and strengthened. You may feel like you are walking through fire, but that fire is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to refine you, to burn away everything that is not in alignment with where you are going. It is meant to prepare you for the magnitude of what is ahead. Do not resist the process. Do not shrink in fear. Walk through it with the knowing that you are being made into something greater than you can yet comprehend. The breaking, the stretching, the discomfort, it is all part of the journey. It is all leading to the moment when everything changes, because that moment is coming. The shift is not a question of if, but when. And when it arrives, you will understand why you had to go through everything you did. You will see how the pieces fit together, how the delays were not denials, how the rejections were actually redirections. But even now, before that moment arrives, you have a choice. You can choose to walk in doubt, to question the plan, to live in fear, or you can choose to trust fully, to step into the certainty that what has been promised is already yours. And that choice, that decision, is what determines how quickly the doors will open, how swiftly the blessings will unfold. The universe does not operate on hesitation. It does not respond to doubt. It moves in accordance with faith, with certainty, with the unwavering belief that what is meant for you is already on its way. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for signs. Stop waiting for something outside of you to give you permission to move forward. Everything you need has already been placed within you. The path is already set. The timing is already ordained. All you must do is step forward. Even if you do not see the whole road ahead, even if the way is unclear, move anyway. The doors will open as you walk. The clarity will come as you trust. The breakthroughs will manifest as you align yourself fully with the knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, that nothing is out of place, that everything is happening exactly as it should. This is your time. This is your moment. What is coming is far greater than you have imagined. And when it arrives, you will look back and realize that it was never a matter of chance, but a matter of divine intention. It was always meant to be. And now, the only thing that remains is for you to step into it. And so here you stand, on the threshold of something greater than you have ever known. The waiting, the refining, the stretching, it has all led to this moment. You are not lost, you are not behind, you are exactly where you need to be. And everything you have walked through has been preparing you for what is coming. No more hesitation, no more questioning, no more waiting for signs. The signs have always been there, written in the quiet urgings of your soul, in the unshakable knowing that there is more for you, and now the time has come to step fully into that knowing, to walk forward with unwavering faith, to trust that what is meant for you cannot be taken from you. You were never waiting on God. God was waiting on you, waiting for you to believe, to rise, to claim the life that has always been yours. The shift is already in motion. The doors are already opening. What is coming will not just meet your expectations, it will exceed them in ways you never imagined. Step forward, trust, and watch as the impossible becomes your reality. There comes a moment, a divine stirring, when life as you know it is about to shift. Not just a minor change, not a passing breeze, but a great and irreversible transformation. And if you listen closely, if you still the mind and open the heart, you will see the signs before it happens. These signs are not coincidences, nor are they accidents of fate. They are the whispers of God, the unseen hand rearranging your world, preparing you for what is to come. The first great sign is an unsettling, a divine discontent. That which once brought you joy may now feel empty. You may sense a restlessness, as if the walls of your life are closing in, no longer containing the vastness of who you are meant to be. This is not a time to despair, it is a time to rejoice. For when the soul outgrows its current reality, God is calling it into a new one. What seems like discomfort is the gentle breaking of chains. The second sign appears as a crumbling, the dissolution of what once seemed stable. Perhaps relationships shift, opportunities fade, familiar paths become impassable, the very ground beneath your feet may tremble, and you may wonder if you are losing everything, but I tell you, nothing real is ever lost. What is leaving is only that which no longer serves the life God is bringing forth in you. Do not resist. Do not grasp at what is falling away. Trust, for a greater design is unfolding, one that you could not yet see with the eyes of the past. And then there is the third and most powerful sign, the sudden influx of vision, desire, and inner knowing. When God is about to change your life forever, a new dream begins to stir within you. It arrives as an unshakable feeling, a vision that will not leave you. You see yourself somewhere you have never been. You feel drawn towards something without logical explanation. It may seem beyond your reach, but I tell you, if it were not meant for you, you would not see it. Desire is the language of the divine, the promise of what is already yours if you dare to claim it. And so, if you have felt this restlessness, if your world has been shaken, if a vision is pulling at your soul, do not shrink back in fear. Lift your head, for God is not taking something from you. He is preparing you for something far greater. Move forward in faith, knowing that the door is already open and the path is already made. The greatest transformations come not through force, but through surrender. Trust, believe, and step into the life that is waiting for you. When God moves in your life, He does not whisper politely at your door, hoping you'll notice. No, He shakes the very foundations of your being, calls forth the soul that has long slumbered, and demands that you rise into your true destiny. This is why the signs are unmistakable. They are not quiet suggestions, they are divine disruptions, preparing you for what is already yours. And yet, so many, when faced with these signs, resist. They see discomfort and call it misfortune. They see loss and call it punishment. They feel the pull of a new vision but label it impossible. But hear me, God never disturbs a life unless He intends to transform it. What you call uncertainty is simply the undoing of a lesser version of yourself, making way for the greater. That divine discontent gnawing at you, it is the voice of the Creator within, refusing to let you settle where you do not belong. You may try to ignore it, distract yourself, drown it out with the noise of the world, but it will not leave. It will grow louder, and the longer you resist, the more life will press upon you until you have no choice but to answer the call. And then, when the familiar begins to crumble, when relationships shift, when doors close, when the things you once leaned on begin to fall away, you may feel as though you are being abandoned. But you are not being abandoned. You are being redirected. When God is about to change your life, He removes every crutch, every false foundation, so that you stand fully in His plan. If you are clinging to what is leaving, let go. What is coming is greater. And oh, the final sign, that unshakable vision, that desire that will not leave you alone. It appears not as a random wish, but as a knowing, deep, undeniable, and persistent. It will not release you because it is not coming from you. It is coming through you. It is the future calling. It is your higher self remembering who you are. Do not ask if it is possible. It is already done in the mind of God. Your only task is to step forward in faith. So, I ask you now, will you heed the signs, or will you resist them? Will you shrink back in fear, or will you stand boldly and say, I am ready? Because the truth is this, life as you know it is already gone. What is left is your choice. Will you embrace what is coming? Will you allow yourself to become what you were always meant to be? This is your moment. Your destiny is unfolding, and all of heaven is waiting for you to take the first step. When God is about to change your life forever, He does not ask for your permission. He commands your awakening. And this awakening is not gentle. It is not convenient. It does not arrive wrapped in comfort. No, it shakes you to your core. It dismantles the illusions you have built. It breaks you open, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. You may wonder why everything feels uncertain, why the old ways no longer satisfy, why the things that once fit now feel foreign. It is because you are no longer who you were. You are no longer meant for the life you once lived. Your spirit has already moved ahead, and now the rest of you must follow. You see, transformation is not about waiting for things to change around you. It is about becoming the one who commands the change. The moment you realize this, truly realize it, your entire world shifts. Because God does not bring new life to those who insist on clinging to the old. He brings it to those who are willing to step into the unknown with nothing but faith as their foundation. If your life is shaking, if doors are closing, if your heart is stirring, this is your confirmation. The very thing you are afraid to lose is the thing that is keeping you from what is greater. Do not beg for the past to return. It will not. Instead, stand in the awareness that what is coming is so much greater that you will one day thank God for everything that is leaving now. But hear me, you must act, not tomorrow, not when it is comfortable, not when it is easy, now. The moment of hesitation is the moment of delay, and heaven does not wait for those who refuse to move. There is a version of you, stronger, freer, wiser, waiting on the other side of your fear. There is a life, richer, fuller, beyond imagination, waiting for your arrival. There is a destiny, written in divine ink, that can only be lived by the one who dares to step forward. So the question is not whether God is changing your life. The question is whether you will surrender to it, whether you will embrace the signs, whether you will rise into what is already yours. For the kingdom of heaven is within you. The power to transform your life is not outside of you, it is within you. You were never meant to beg for blessings, you were meant to call them forth. You were never meant to wait for a miracle, you are the miracle. So arise, step forward, and watch as the heavens align in your favor, for the time is now, and the change is already here. There comes a time when you must decide, will you remain as you have always been, or will you become what you were always meant to be? This is that time. You have seen the signs, you have felt the stirring, you know deep within that something is shifting. This is no accident, this is not a mere season, this is a divine appointment. You did not come into this life to live in hesitation. You did not come here to exist in cycles of doubt and delay. You came here to create, to transform, to become a living expression of the divine. And now, at this very moment, God is calling you to step forward. Feel it. The old life is crumbling, not as a loss, but as a release. What is breaking apart is only that which cannot come with you. And if it cannot come with you, it was never yours to keep. You are being stripped of limitation, cleansed of illusion, prepared for a life so abundant, so free, so extraordinary, that you cannot yet fully comprehend it. But here is the truth. You do not need to understand it. You only need to say yes. Yes to the calling. Yes to the discomfort of growth. Yes to the unknown where miracles are born. Because on the other side of that yes, everything shifts. The delays end, the doors open, the vision that once seemed distant suddenly begins to manifest before your eyes. But you must believe before you see. You must trust before it arrives. This is the test not of suffering, but of faith. Because God does not withhold. God does not tease. What is yours has already been given. The only thing that determines when it arrives is when you decide to claim it. So claim it. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for a sign greater than the one you have already received. This moment is the sign. This moment is the confirmation. This moment is heaven's whisper saying, move now, for everything you desire is waiting for you. So rise. Stand in your power. Step into the life that has been calling you. For you are not just on the brink of change, you are the change. And once you step forward, you will never look back. This is your time, the shift is here, and the life you were born for is waiting. You were never meant for smallness. You were never meant to live in lack, in fear, in hesitation. You were born to create, to expand, to rise. And everything that has happened up to this point every struggle, every delay, every moment of uncertainty has not been working against you. It has been preparing you. Because God does not call the unprepared. He does not awaken those who are not ready. If you have felt the shift, if you have seen the signs, if you have been drawn into this very moment, it is because you are ready. Ready to release, ready to step forward, ready to receive. And yet, so many stand at the edge of their destiny and hesitate. They let their old fears speak louder than their new vision. They let their past define their future. They ask, what if I fail? When they should be asking, what if I succeed beyond my wildest imagination? And so I tell you now, there is no more waiting. The hesitation ends here. Because there is a force moving within you, a power greater than anything you have ever known. And the moment you surrender to it, the moment you stop fighting the change that is calling you, everything will unfold with divine precision. But surrender is not passive. It is not sitting back, hoping for a miracle. It is stepping forward with faith so unshakable that the very universe must bow in response. It is walking as if the promise is already fulfilled. It is speaking as if the miracle has already arrived. Because in truth it has. There is no time left for doubt, no room left for fear. You have been called, the transformation has begun, and there is no going back. So I ask you, will you rise? Will you step into the life that has been waiting for you? Will you trust that every closed door was a blessing, that every loss was a redirection, that every delay was divine timing moving on your behalf? Because the life that is coming, the life that is already yours, is beyond anything you have imagined. And the only thing standing between you and it is the decision to claim it. So claim it now, step into it now, walk boldly, speak boldly, believe boldly, for the heavens have already moved, the path has already been cleared, and your new life has already begun. This is your moment, this is your awakening, and from this day forward, nothing will ever be the same. You have been waiting, watching, wondering when the shift will happen. You have asked for signs, for confirmation, for proof that this transformation is real, and now here it is. Not in the form of a distant promise, not in the form of a future hope, but now, right here. This very moment is the threshold between the life you have known and the life that is calling you. What you feel stirring inside you is not just a passing thought. It is not a fleeting desire. It is the voice of the divine within you, the blueprint of your highest self, the memory of who you were always meant to be. And it will not be silent. It will not fade away. It will not stop calling you forward. But here is where many falter. They see the shift, they feel the signs, but they hesitate. They cling to the familiar, even as it crumbles beneath them. They mistake the breaking apart for destruction, when in truth it is the birth of something greater. Do you not see? The old is not being taken from you, it is being removed for you. The things that no longer serve you, the places you have outgrown, the limitations that have held you back, they are being cleared. Not as punishment, not as loss, but as preparation. Because the life that is waiting for you requires you to be free, free from doubt, free from fear, free from the version of yourself that was never meant to last. And so the final question remains, will you step forward? Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, not when every detail makes sense, now, because destiny does not wait for those who hesitate. The power is in this moment, in the decision you make now. You may not see the whole path, but that is not your concern. Your only task is to take the first step in faith, to trust that if you move, the way will be revealed, to believe so deeply, so completely, that heaven itself bends to the force of your certainty. And when you do, you will see what was always true. You were never stuck, you were never trapped. The doors were never locked. It was only your own hesitation that kept you in place. But now the hesitation is gone. The waiting is over. The shift has already begun. So step forward, speak boldly, move with unwavering faith. For God has not just called you, He has chosen you. And everything you desire, everything you have prayed for, everything you have dreamed in the quiet of your soul, it is already done. This is your new beginning. The time is now. And from this moment on, nothing will ever be the same again. For too long you have danced on the edge of your destiny, one foot in the past, one foot in the future, hesitant to leap into the unknown. But hear me now. God does not work in hesitation. He does not move through the timid. He does not part seas for those who refuse to step into the water. If you have felt the shaking, if you have seen the signs, if you have known in the deepest part of your soul that change is upon you, then this is not a time to shrink back. This is a time to step boldly forward, to claim the life that has been calling you, to declare with unwavering certainty, I am ready. But readiness is not just a feeling. It is action. It is movement. It is the refusal to stay in a life that no longer fits. It is the courage to let go of what is safe, of what is familiar, of what is known, so that you can step into something greater. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Growth always does. The caterpillar does not transform into the butterfly without first dissolving into nothingness. The seed does not break open without the pressure of the soil. The old must die so the new can be born. And that is what is happening to you. The things that are falling apart are not happening to you. They are happening for you. The people who are leaving, the doors that are closing, the structures that are collapsing, it is all divine intervention. Because the life God has prepared for you cannot be built on weak foundations. So do not mourn what is leaving. Do not cling to what is being removed. Instead, rejoice, because what is coming is greater. What is coming is the manifestation of the vision that has been growing inside you. What is coming is the answer to the prayers you once whispered in the dark. But here is the truth. You must move before you see it. You must believe before it is tangible. This is the test. This is the moment where faith is not just a word, but a force, a power, an unshakable certainty that drives you forward. God has already set the stage. The opportunities have already been aligned. The miracles have already been released. The only thing left is you. Will you step into it? Will you stop waiting? Will you walk as if the promise is already fulfilled? Because that is the key. Moving as if it is already done. Not begging, not hoping, not wondering, but knowing. Knowing that heaven has already moved on your behalf. Knowing that the doors are already open. Knowing that the only thing left to do is walk through them. To walk, move, claim the life that is yours. For this is not just a shift. This is not just a season. This is your awakening. This is the moment when everything changes. And from this day forward, you will never be the same again. And so we arrive at the final moment, the point where decision meets destiny, where faith must rise above fear, where you stand face to face with the undeniable truth. You were never meant to remain where you are. The signs have been given. The stirring within you is not random. It is the divine call to something greater. The old life, the former version of you, is already fading. The only question that remains is, will you step forward? Because there comes a time when hesitation is no longer an option. A time when the waiting must end. A time when you must stop asking for another sign and start moving in faith. That time is now. This is not the end of something, it is the beginning of a life where you no longer chase after blessings, but walk in the certainty that they are already yours. A life where you no longer wait for opportunities, but create them. A life where you no longer shrink back, but step boldly into your divine calling. And so, take a deep breath and feel it. This is the moment of transformation. The door has been opened, the path has been cleared, and heaven is waiting for you to take the first step. Go now, not with fear, but with power, not with doubt, but with certainty, not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. For God has already moved, the shift has already begun, and from this moment forward, nothing will ever be the same again.